at the beginning of the year, I was at a point where I knew something needs to change. I needed like something to really shake me, and I decided to do a master plant dieta in Peru with the Shipibo tribe. And this was a big decision. I knew that much. I had worked with ayahuasca before, and this is of course another thing, a plant dieta. But I was anticipating something very profound, and I want to speak about that experience in this and the following videos, so it will come up again and again, and I thought it makes sense to just make one introduction into what is that actually, because most people never heard of that actually. That's my experience when I talk to people, and so I want to tell you guys about something super exciting that probably, I don't know who watches my videos, but that's not so much out there. Master plant dieta. So I have to really take a step back, and maybe I just share how it came to me. And a bit more than 2 years ago, I found myself in the jungle of Peru to meet ayahuasca and work with that plant. And in that time, I would have maybe said, take ayahuasca. And my main intention back then was to have an experience that of something that I felt like I had grasped intellectually, and come to an understanding of how reality works, maybe through studying nature and quantum physics and different not so mainstream views on what's actually going on around us and within us, and maybe even from a spiritual exploration. But I wanted that experience where it wasn't anymore, yeah, we are all one, but where I could feel that actually. This was my intention, and I went to Peru for 3 weeks into the jungle and had 7 ceremonies with ayahuasca, and in the third one I understood and I had that experience, and I understood why I had come there, and also I didn't understand anything actually. It was super profound. I made a video about it back then, and now that's ayahuasca. And dieting a plant is usually, or when us Westerners speak about it, it means also working with ayahuasca. But actually the main reason, or what's going on, is dieting a plant. And for me it was Renaquilla is the name. It's also like ayahuasca, a vine that goes around a tree, a host tree, to grow, and that has certain qualities and powers and teachings, and that has a long tradition in the Shipibo tribe to be dieted, and that they look at these plants and the spirits of the plants as teachers. It's like going to university, they said, and you dedicate time to learn from this one being. And actually I didn't know which one I would meet, who would be my teacher when I first arrived there. They would ask me about my intentions and just energetically perceive me, I would say, and then chose Renaquilla, and I'm super grateful and happy that it was Renaquilla that I got to meet. And then starting the next day, so for almost 2 weeks, every morning I would receive a little cup of Renaquilla. And the dieta, it's important to know, it starts already long time before actually arriving in the jungle and sitting with the plant. The dieta starts the moment you find a yes. The moment I found that yes to do that, it begins, maybe even before. And for sure, it begins a month before entering the jungle, because it comes with a lot of restrictions. The Shipibo would say an energetic contract where between me and the plant being I commit to a certain diet. So a month before it would mean cutting out alcohol, meat, street drugs, ice cream, fuzzy drinks. And then coming closer to entering the jungle, more things were added to that list. So no salt, no sugar, no sexual activity, no sexual thoughts. So all this is a month before, and then once you enter the jungle, there's even more of fasting in this way. So basically they compare it to planting a seed. And first you prepare the soil. That means you cleanse the body, you create a really nice environment for the seed to grow in a good way. So that's what you do in the months before. And then when you arrive and you get to know your plant and begin to work with it, the seed gets put into the soil. So in these 2 weeks you really cultivate it, and there's an invitation to fast also and eat also still no salt, but only certain things, and dry fast even if that feels good for you. And so you become very sensitive also with consumption of media and all this beforehand. And so you're very receptive, and the seeds can grow, and then after the 2 weeks is important as well, because that's when the little seedling is still very tender and needs to be treated nicely. So the months after the jungle is also has certain rules, pretty much the same. Let's say no sexual thoughts, no alcohol, no other ceremonies and different things. And so it's at least 2.5 months a long process. But like I say, it probably begins as soon as I knew I'm going to do that. My life aligned for that to happen. And now it doesn't feel over also. I think it's actually a lifelong process, like all the things are, maybe. Life is one big ceremony, and it's a sub-ceremony also. And yes, but what happens in the 2 weeks then is drinking every morning a little shot of this plant that you're dieting. And now this is just the introduction. That's kind of the container. I was with a Shipibo family, 26 people, family members, running a place. They've all been doing this work for, some of them, it has been their path all their life. So 40, 50, maybe 60 years. The whole place is run by beautiful grandmother, Maestra Ines, and we were held in an amazing way and had super intense 2 weeks, all 12 of us, and 6 maestros were there singing for us in the ceremonies. And in the 2 weeks you're invited to not journal, journal maybe a little bit, but not distract yourself, don't read, basically just be and feel and perceive and listen. And that is a really intense experience, I can say now. I don't want to go into my experiences now, that comes later. So if you have questions about this, do ask them in the comments, and I'm happy to go into that in the following videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Renaquilla. Thank you, Ayahuasca, I have to say after speaking about you guys, you too. And thank you for watching. Ciao.